All right, so we are going to get started. Hello, welcome. So welcome to Money Matters. My name is Hung Lu. I'm with Cash Property, and we are going to be analyzing two deals today. I'm assuming that we're going to just rush right through this. So we're going to do two deals. One is a sixplex, and the other one is a laundromat. So I can't tell you where they're located, and I can't show you the pictures or anything of that because I'm under an NDA to take a look at them, but I will be able to share the numbers. So let's get into that now. Oh, before we get into it, of course, I do have to say that before you go and take any of the suggestions that I give you today, please, you have to, of course, do your own due diligence and check with another fellow investor. So, these calculations that I'm doing with you in these sessions, it's really to help you make the best decisions with the money that you have access to so that you can make the deals that you want, right? So that you could have the time and freedom that you want to have. So please don't lose that money by making a wrong decision. Okay, so let me oh yes, so I have a great offering to share. So let me bring this up. Okay, so on the screen you will see a book and hat offering. So you will get this lovely, beautiful hat that says Cash Property on it. And it's a great conversation starter if you're out wearing this, and especially now with the sun coming out, if you're wearing a hat and people are seeing you and they're like, hey, what's Cash Property? It's a great way to segment into saying, hey, you know what? I'm a real estate investor. I buy cash flowing properties, whatever your spiel is. Okay, so on the screen, you'll see a scanning code to get the hat for complimentary. So you're getting the hat for free when you buy a copy of the Rising Above the Rest book. Okay, so this is a great way to learn, even one or 12 things from here, if not more. It's a collaboration by 13 authors in here writing about different strategies in real estate, our journeys, our transition into real estate, and what we're doing in real estate. So this is a great way to get your hands on it. You pay for the book, you get the hat, and I cover the shipping. Okay, so please support what I'm working working on by buying the hat and the book. Okay, so let's get into the first calculation. And I'm going to take this off because I'm indoors and I don't need to wear a hat. Okay, so let me bring up the Excel sheet. And like I said, I can't share certain information because of some of the NDA stuff. But what I can share with you, I will share. And let's run through this calculation together. Okay. And so the reason why this episode is called Back to the Basics with analysis is because I use the same sheet, this sheet. I use the same sheet over and over again to do my calculations. Okay. And so it's really just going back to the basics, inputting the numbers and just saying, hey, does the numbers make sense to buy this? Okay. So some of the information here isn't going to be valid. So I'm going to just, delete things as we go through this. Okay. So the asking price is 3.5 million. Sorry, I'm thinking between the laundromat and the sixplex. Okay, so this is a sixplex. It's in Canada. Okay, and it's got, let's see here, 4 units, and then it's got 2 commercials. So we're just going to put down here. So this is like a bedroom type of scenario. And then this is a commercial office space. Okay, so it's 6 units in total, and I'm going to say no laundry for now. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the numbers and we'll go through this example together and see whether or not this is a cash flowing property. So I'm going to be looking at my notes. So forgive me while my head's down while I'm looking at some of this stuff. So let's see here if I can bring up the data here. Okay, so what do we got? Okay, so not that document. All right, so okay, so we have a couple of, let's see, so the expenses that they gave me. Okay, so I'm gonna jump here to the expenses because That was the document that I found first. So let's see here. So we have junk removal roughly around $900 a month. Wow, that's quite a high. So I'm going to dump that under the sewage charge. Okay, so I'm going to go 900 there. And so this is going to be 900 times 12. So, and then we have utilities is about $1,000 in total. So I'm going to put $100 there. And then electricity is 0, 0. It's all being lumped together under the $1,000 a month. Oh, so I need to add another 0 there. Okay, so roughly for just the utilities, we're paying about $12,000 in the year. We got sewage charges of another 10,800. Wow, this is already getting quite expensive here. The roof repair. I don't know why there's a roof repair here of $500. Okay. The mailbox insurance is $8,000. This can't be right. Ah, okay, that's the year. Wow. Okay, so let's go back here and we're gonna say sewage charges. So 900. Okay, so I'm gonna go $80 there. Okay, and I'm gonna go $90 there. So that's a little bit closer to the numbers. Okay, so as you can tell, when you're entering the numbers, you want to make sure that you're looking at the right time frame and that it's consistent on the time frame. So there was some roof repair here. So we do have repairs here at 5%. So that 5% will calculate out once we get the income in there. So then we have the caretakers and on-site rep. So that's PM there. So I'm going to park that and see how much this property management works out to be at 10%. And then hydro is on top. So another $100 here. Okay. And then we have the fire alarm system. So that's another 100. So I actually don't have that. So I'm going to put that here under the internet. And I'm going to update that to internet/fire alarms. Okay. So for a bigger building, you are going to want to have security systems in there so that is not a bad thing to have. So monthly, we're looking at 1,500. Okay, yeah, so we don't have that number yet here because we're missing some of this property management and some of these other fees and vacancies and stuff like that. Okay, so that is roughly right now. Oh, and then there is a strata fee. So let's go here. So there's a condo fee here and it is, let's say 900. Does that give us close to that number? Roughly. Okay, so I'm going to put in an extra $20 a month there. Okay, so that is the total there. So we're at about 1,200, but we're going to keep looking at this and seeing where the actual rents now are. Okay, so let's go up to the rents. And they are saying that the rents are 1,375, 2,600, 2,200, 2,400. And then one of the commercials is rented out for 2005. Okay, so that is okay. And one of them is vacant, so there's nothing there. So let's see here. So I'm just going to put in here and then 2,500, assuming that we can rent that out. So right now they've got an income of about $11,000 a month. So that's okay, you know, for a sixplex here. Okay. And so the cost per unit roughly is around 590 $590,000 for a unit. And that is based on, oh, let me make this bigger. Sorry. For those of you who are watching and vision challenged a little bit, I totally get that. I'm going through that myself. So that cost per unit is just basically saying, how much am I going to be buying it for? Divide it by the number of units and then maybe some of the renovation costs. I put 50,000 in here, that's probably a little bit too low to have as backup money for a sixplex. Like maybe 100,000 would be a better number. The only way to know that is once you go through the walkthrough. Now I'm noticing that there's a bit of they said a roof repair there, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes through. Okay, so we've got the rental amount in, and so now the property management is populated at $1,000 a month. So now let's go back to the expense sheet and see what they had down for property management here. So they're paying about 5,000. So let's do this here. So I'm going to go equals the 1,000 times 12. So that's going to give me 13,000. So based on this sheet, we would actually be allotting about an extra $8,000 just for property management. Is that more reasonable? Yeah, because I don't want to be self-managing, although I do self-manage. But if I decide that I don't want to self-manage, I'm going to have to pay somebody to take this out. Okay. To do all of the work and stuff, right? To potentially pay for vacancies and so forth like that. Now I've got an 8% vacancy, which they don't have. I've got a 5% repair, which they're not showing on their pro forma. So that is one of the biggest things here is when you're running your numbers here, is that the sellers are not going to be giving you all of their numbers. And even though you ask for their tax packages and so forth like that, there's no guarantees that you're going to get the insurance. Oh, we don't even have insurance in here. Okay, so there's no guarantees that you're going to get this property at the same insurance. There's no guarantees that you're going to be able to get the same property manager at the price that they got it for. So you want to be consistent with what you're putting in as your numbers. So the insurance here is about $8,000. So let's go in here and put 700. Okay, and so that should give us close to the 8,000 there. Okay, so what does that now? Now we're way over on the expenses here as well. Okay, the vacancy allowance, I usually use 8% just as a general number, just for running the initial numbers. But then when I go and do my walkthrough and then part of the negotiations is then adjusting that to what is more realistic. Okay, so we've got here. Okay, so we're doing 25% down. Now this is considered multifamily. So let's run through the numbers here at the 25% and just see where it lands, okay? So the down payment is 25%. So that's 8,750. So that means my mortgage amount, if I go through a traditional bank, is going to be 2.6 million at 6%. So this is a little bit high. So let's change that to 4.5. Okay. The monthly mortgage payment on this is going to be $13,000. Okay. So that means I'm going to be negative cash flowing by $7,300. Okay. That is a super bad situation to be in. Okay. Now let's go back and adjust some of these expense numbers because we're on the super high end on this compared to the numbers that they gave me. So let's go back here. So what can we realistically adjust? So we can go here, maybe get 8% there. Okay. Repairs, they're showing something significantly less than this. So let's go 2.5 and see. So at 2.5, we're allocating about $3,000 for repairs. That's very low. Like that's uncomfortably low for a sixplex. Okay. So vacancy, maybe not 8%, maybe 2%. Okay. So let's see what that works out to be. At 2%, that would be 1 unit vacant for the whole year. Okay. That I would be okay with. Okay. The other, can we adjust that other? Yeah, you could adjust it. This other is for pest control, for lawyers, for accountants, for lawyers, accountants, bookkeepers, your advertising. Is there about $6,000 of expenses? Yeah, your corporation fees, like all of that needs to go in there. So would I leave it at 5%? Yeah, I sort of would leave it at 5%. Okay, so realistically, we're at about a $4,000 expense ratio. This gives us an expense ratio of 35%. Is that a realistic number? I would say so, right? So I did adjust some of the numbers there. Okay, but we're at a 35%. This is an older building. So, older buildings, 30 to 45% realistically. So 35, I'm okay, that is a number I'm comfortable with. So now let's see here. So now if we can get a 5% down payment, and then the rest comes from our wonderful partner CMHC, then we're still negative cash flow, $9,600. So even if we could do a 5% down payment, it just does not make sense. Okay, so how else could we make this work out? So let's just say the vendor take back comes in and they give us, okay, so we're still going to put 5% down. They're going to come in and give us, I don't know, a 20%. VTB, I'm just throwing a number out there. So VTB times that 20%. So what is the buying price? So they're going to give us a $700,000 mortgage on this. Let's just say they agree to 5%. So this is going to be interest only. So just keep that in mind that you are not paying down any principal. And there's some risks with taking a VTB, like, you have to negotiate that. So the interest only payments roughly would be per month. Okay, so per year you have to pay 35,000. So just keep that in mind. It's just your 700,000 times your 5% for 35,000. Now we're going to divide that by 12 to give us 2,900 in interest only payments per month. Okay, so now we have to go back here because now our balance that we owe to the bank is not going to be 3,000. Like, we don't need to take out a $3,000, a $3 million mortgage. Now, if you are trying to understand this whole VTB concept, watch the video from last week. I think it was last week's video where I went into the details of a VTB and all the ins and outs and how to consider the different percentages of a VTB. Okay, I think that was last week. And so, okay, so to do this, now what we're going to do is we're going to say it's 95%, but it's not 95, right? This percentage now is 1% minus my down payment minus the VTB. Okay, so the bank's loan is going to be 75%. Does that make sense? Yeah, because it's 75 plus my 5 plus the VTB of 20, that gives me 100%. Okay, so that's how you know you've done the calculation right, when all of the percentages here add up to 100%. If it doesn't add up to 100, then you know you've done something wrong. Okay, the other check that I have in here is that this total, this 3.5, has to match my buying price from above. So which it does. Okay, so this is 3.5. So that means now my mortgage that I need from the bank is 2,600. If I go and get a mortgage at 4.5, the monthly payment is still $13,000. Even with this, we're negative cash flowing $9,000 a month. That just seems stupid crazy to even entertain running this any longer, right? Like, at this point, you're out of ideas here, because even if you could increase the rents, okay, even if you got this unit rented out, this 2,500 unit in here, let's just say we got that rented out. Commercials come with another challenge of renting it out. A lot of times they do stay vacant quite long. You're still 7,000 in the negatives. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. And this is with us adjusting some of the numbers and using some of their real numbers. Okay, yeah, I'm going to end the calculation on this one because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so yeah, between a $6,000 to a $9,000 negative cash flow per month. At this point, yeah. Oh, the interesting thing here. So if you look at the cap rate here, they're selling it at a 2.45 cap rate. Okay. That is super, super low. That's unheard of. Like, even in Vancouver right now, we're at what, a 3.5% cap rate. Toronto's around the same thing. Okay. there's no way this opportunity should be at a 2.45 cap rate. So let's just say we go to a 3.5 cap rate. Really, the true purchase offering price on this should be around 2.5 million based on their current income and based on the expenses that we have. Okay, so I'm going to stop this one because at this point, I'm just like not worth my time to look at this one anymore. Okay, so now let's go into the second one. Okay, and this one, hopefully we get a little bit more, some better numbers maybe. I don't know. Okay, so that is the joys of running numbers, is that you may end up like going through the numbers and not finding anything. But one of the things that I always do is I run the numbers fairly quickly, and that allows me to say, hey, you know what? I'm not interested in that. So I'm just gonna, park it and go to the next opportunity because it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so this one here, the asking price is 1.8. So a little bit different already. And I cannot tell you the address, unfortunately. Your screen is paused. Okay, so let me just reshare that again before I start typing in all of my numbers here. Okay. Resume. Can we resume? Okay. It is not letting me share this. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Toot, toot, toot. All right, so laundromat. There we go. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so for those of you who are IT challenged, I am too, as you just saw. Okay, and there's no need to let that stop you from doing anything. Okay, so this is a laundromat. Okay, they're asking 1.8 million for the laundromat. Okay, I know that seems like a little steep. Okay, and it's not any bedrooms, it's really just laundry. So let's see what we've got here for laundry. So I'm going to run the analysis using the same sheet because even though it's not a multifamily, the expenses are, roughly the same idea. The profit income from the business is roughly about, it's the same idea. So I will usually run my numbers on this, and then I will go over and transition it over into another spreadsheet that I use just to double check my numbers there. Okay, so let me bring up the information here. I just need to find it for a second. All right. All right, so we are asking $1.8 million for this. So this one here, there's a strata fee again. So let's go down here. Ah, you know what? So that means that on the other building, there wasn't that $900 in strata fee. So this strata fee, I was getting the two properties mixed up. Haha. Okay, so I'll go back and double check that on the 800. So that would take out it still wouldn't make sense because if you think about it, that $900 a month, that would come off of the 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 debt carrying cost. And so we would still be $5,000 to $8,000 negative. So it still wouldn't make sense to go back and take a look at it. Okay, so in this one here, there's a condo fee of that. Okay, so there were wages. So I'm going to leave the wages out and just see where that goes. There was repairs of 4,000. So I'm going to leave that as well. Property taxes was 15,000. So I'm going to go 15,000 here. Okay, so they're paying about 1,200 for property taxes. There was some advertising, so I'm going to put that over here. Can we do that? Yeah, $3,000 in advertising. Property taxes, insurance. Insurance was 4,000, so a little bit cheaper. Okay. And then what else do we got? Utilities. Okay, here we go. 19,000 in utilities. So I'm going to go zero there, and I'm going to have 19,000 here in utilities. So we're paying roughly about 16,000 in utilities. So I'm going to bump that up to a little bit here and go there. Okay, about 16,000 in utilities. And let's see here. So what they did in terms of cash flow here, how much did they make here? That's interesting. They're not giving me this. What they've given me is the earnings before interest, taxes, deductions, and appreciation. So they've given me the business EBITDA, which is an interesting way to present that. So let's go here, and I'm going to put in here roughly, I don't know, let's put in 200,000. I'd be as a placeholder because I don't know what that should be. So we're going to have one of this. Okay, so I'm going to go back and change that to 20,000. We're going to make 240,000 a year. The laundry is going to be 0. So let's go 0 there. Okay, because for some reason they're not giving me their monthly income from this laundromat. So I'm going to assume just 20,000. Let's just see where the numbers fall, and then we'll go from there. So we're paying 10,000 in expenses already. So now, is there any vacancy? There won't be any vacancy there. Is there others still? Yeah, there would still be legals, bookkeeping, accountant, all that stuff. Is there repairs? Probably a little bit higher than that 10%, that 5%. I'm going to go here and put 10. And let's just see, did they include anything in their repairs? Yeah, so they had about 4,000 a month in repairs. So that to me seems a little bit low for a laundromat. So I'm here giving myself about 24,000. Okay, so let's go back to 5%. Okay, so advertising was there's property management. They don't have one for property management, but what they do have is staff of 2. Let's see here. So what is this number here? Oh, I see. So we didn't put in a projected number here. So I'm just going to put in a projected number here of 20,000. Okay. So this means that I am paying, let's see here, 24,000 in fees in property management. In reality, they paid significantly higher than that. So which makes sense because it's a business. And so with a business like a hotel or campgrounds and stuff like that, you're looking significantly higher. So they're not even at 50%. They're at closer to maybe the 35% maybe. Okay, I'm going to go back to 40 here. So based on, because this monthly expenses is going to change depending on how much cash we're bringing in every month. So let's just run the numbers and see what that looks like. So the yearly expense is going to be 171,000 compared to the income of 240. And we're guessing on this 240 right now. So the expense ratio for this is around 71%. Now, this is super high compared to your multifamilies, but is it high for a business? Not really. Like some of the hotels and campgrounds and restaurants that I analyze, we're at 75, if not 90%, which is so ridiculous. Okay, so 71. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. And let's see where the financing falls in. Okay, so here we've got a 25% down payment. So we're looking at 450,000. And we're going to go and get a mortgage here at 7. Now, because this is a business, it's not going to be 6. It's going to be maybe closer to 7.5 because it's a business. So that means under this scenario, we would be negative cash flowing for $3,600 a month. Okay, so where else can we make those changes, right? To see if we've overestimated on the expenses, which according to them, we are way over compared to they are. And maybe the income here is 30,000. Okay, so let's say we go to 30,000. Where does that take us? Now we're positive cash flowing. So now the thing is to go and calculate, okay, well, what is the actual income? Okay, so now I'm just going to go here and type this here because earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and appreciation. So they're saying, so we can actually calculate that, because what that is your earnings here, earnings minus your expenses, minus taxes, minus depreciation, and what else? Oh, the interest. Yeah, so we've already taken care of the interest. Oh, no, we haven't. We haven't taken care of the interest. So we got to take this one out. So we got to do this one times 12. Okay, so that will give us, let's see, what else are we missing here? The appreciation, the deduction. Okay, the earnings before interest, taxes. Yeah, the interest were covered. The taxes we've covered, the depreciation and the appreciation. Okay, so that covers everything here. So that's about $15,000 here. Their EBITDA that they're giving me is around 80,000. So that means this number here would be significantly higher. So let's go up to 80. Does that give us what we need there? Oh no, haha, that's way too high. Okay, so let's go down to 40 here. Okay, so yeah, so based on their EBITDA number and based on my expense calculations and interest and so forth, we would need to be, assuming all of these expenses are correct, we would need to be making $40,000 a month in income from the laundromat, because we're doing this for the laundromat. So if the laundromat is making $40,000 per month, okay, so per month, and all the expenses are what we see here, which is real, oh no, see, so this amount here won't be good. So they're paying half of this right now in staff fees. So yeah, see, so as you change one number, so now the EBITDA, so you see what I did? I changed the property management now down to the number that what they're reporting, and their EBITDA now is way higher. So then that's incorrect. So let's go back to 30,000, which is what we had it at. Now this is going to go up a little bit. So let's go to 30. Are we closer? No, see, like as you adjust one, it changes all over the place. So that warrants a little bit of figuring out. We could probably run a what if calculation, but I'm not going to do that. So let's go back over here, and I'm going to put in my 40,000 here as my baseline. Yeah. So if we got the 40,000, then we had the staff coming in at 20, that would make more sense. We would have an EBITDA here of 170. Okay, so we'd have to figure that part out. So based on that, if we're able to, 40, that's really low for that. You know what? I'm going to go back to 30 here. Yeah, I'm going to go back to 30 because I want it to be more realistic. Yeah, see, so that's a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go here. So based on this, if we can prove that the monthly income from the laundromat is $30,000, and the expenses are roughly about $16,000. And if we can get this situation where we've got the down payment and the first mortgage, we would be cash flowing 4,300. Now, let's just say we only come in with 5%, which I know we can't do because it's a business. But if we came in with the business owner and they gave us a 20% VTB, then we would go here, take this VTB out, then they would, so let's see. So we're going to take 20% and we're going to times the purchase price, which at this point, we're assuming it's that. Let's put 5% down here. And this is going to be, again, interest only. Okay. So where does that take us? Oh, we need to divide by 12. So just make sure you divide by 12 when you do that calculation. If you can get a VTB on this, you could just come in with 90,000, which is a huge savings, and you would still be positive cash flowing. Now, this is assuming that you're making 30,000. Okay. Oh, so before I forget, yes, there are a few things here. So let me unshare and I'll reshare again. So before I finish that thought process on the calculation there, let me bring this up because if you've stuck with me till now, you should hear this portion as well. Okay, so this event is coming up very soon. Okay. Next week, next Wednesday, this is the AREA group. They are the Edmonton Real Estate Association. This is one of those things where you go, you get some education and you get massive networking at the same time. So I will put this AREA group link into the chat. Please check them out if you haven't already. It's a great, especially with Edmonton booming the way it is right now, highly recommended to at least go and connect with fellow investors and service providers in Edmonton. So that is the AREA group. All right. And to our sponsor, CHW Flooring. Okay, so they provide flooring products at wholesale price, which means you're getting it at a discount. So whether you are a general contractor, a developer, or do it yourself installer at your own house, go check out CHW. Okay, they are in Burnaby. Okay, so now we've got one more thing here. This is the group coaching with moi. Okay, so you sign up here, but I will also include this link for the breakthrough analysis paralysis coaching. Basically, it's a group of us. You come on, I go through all my calculations with you on a deal that you're looking at or somebody within the group is looking at. And we basically go through all of the analysis, how to adjust the numbers, what to look for, basically what we just did today. Okay, but it's specific for what you're working on. And we also talk through some of the strategies on how to close on it and what some of the risks and everything to make sure that you don't over leverage. Okay, and that you don't get a crappy deal. Okay, because nobody likes a crappy deal. All right, so let's go back into that analysis on the laundromat. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to make sure that you guys are looking at the laundromat. I'm assuming you're looking at the laundromat. I can't tell. Okay, so what happens here now is if you can get a VTB for the 360, then your cash flow goes down a little bit because you have to pay for that interest, but you don't have to tie up $450,000 of your own money, right? You only have to tie up 100. And that gives you a little bit of breathing space to have some extra cash for renovations. Okay, so definitely worth looking at. Okay, so this one compared to the sixplex, I would spend more time looking at this one than at the sixplex. All right, so that is what I have for you today. So if you want to participate in the breakthrough analysis, we are starting a new one in April. Yeah. Yeah, we're already in April. Okay. And don't forget to also, if you want to, there is also that wonderful hat and book product that you can get. And of course, now I don't know where that, let's see here. The hat thing went. The hat. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the book and the beautiful hat is available for you to buy using the QR code that is popping up. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching and have a great week. Bye.